WrestleMania is the grandest stage of them all in professional wrestling, a spectacle that has defined the industry since its inception in 1985. However, not every WrestleMania has lived up to the immense hype that surrounds it. While many have delivered iconic moments, others have fallen flat due to lackluster match cards, poor booking decisions, or uninspired performances. This is the Main Event Marks, and today I'm talking about the top 10 worst WrestleManias in history. Now, let's get into it.
This is the main event!
Today I'm ranking and analyzing the 10 worst WrestleManias ever, explaining how they failed to meet expectations and why they're scientifically considered among the most disappointing big events in WWE history. Number 10, WrestleMania 29, 2013. On paper, WrestleMania 29 looked promising, but the execution left much to be desired. The event was headlined by a rematch between John Cena and The Rock, which lacked some of the excitement of their previous encounter at WrestleMania 28. Quite a few people disagree with that, or claim that the match quality was actually better than at 28, but that's up in the air. The undercards featured halfway decent matches, such as Triple H vs. Brock Lesnar and CM Punk vs. The Undertaker, which was, in my opinion, one of the most truly memorable matches of the night. But you also have the show filled out with The Shield vs. Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Big Show, Mark Henry vs. Ryback, Team Hell No vs. Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston, Alberto Del Rio vs. Jack Swagger, and Chris Jericho vs. Fandango. Overall, WrestleMania 29 felt like an odd show, where the biggest names were just given matches to get them on the card somehow. Number 9, WrestleMania 33 from 2017. Despite being visually impressive, WrestleMania 33 featured a bloated runtime, poor pacing, and questionable booking decisions. The Universal title match between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg was short, but predictable. At least it was better than their WrestleMania 20 encounter. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns vs. The Undertaker was marred by the dead man's physical limitations. It's not often that I can say that Taker was carried in a match, but Roman did all the heavy lifting. The mixed tag match of John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice was boring. What should have been a great match between Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt was reduced to maggots being projected on the mat to distract audiences during a dull bout. Even Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho stunk it up. AJ Styles vs. Shane McMahon was halfway decent, but not great. The Hardy Boys returning and Seth Rollins vs. Triple H were big highlights, but they weren't enough to save the event from feeling overlong and underwhelming. Number 8, WrestleMania 4 from 1988. WrestleMania 4 was built around a 14-man tournament to crown a new WWF champion. While this concept was ambitious, the tournament format resulted in too many short, unremarkable matches. If you do the math, most matches didn't run for longer than 6 minutes. The crowd at Trump Plaza lacked energy. The main event between Randy Orton and Ted DiBiase, while decent, wasn't enough to redeem the sluggish pacing of the show. They also built the show around Hogan and Andre facing off again in the tournament, but that ended in a messy double DQ in less than 6 minutes. The lack of standout performances made this one of the least engaging WrestleManias. At least Macho Man finally got his big moment. Number 7, WrestleMania 16 from 2000, also known as WrestleMania 2000. Despite occurring during the peak of the Attitude Era, WrestleMania 16 lacked singles matches and relied too heavily on multi-man bouts. The main event, a fatal 4-way elimination match featuring Triple H, The Rock, Big Show, and Mick Foley, was overbooked and disappointing, particularly with Triple H retaining the title. It was also built around a McMahon in every corner because each member of the McMahon family accompanied each member of the main event to the ring. Mick Foley had also just retired and now he was back for some reason, and it was really weird and diminished his retirement. Additionally, there were no traditional one-on-one matches, making the event feel like a chaotic mess rather than a structured, memorable show. The lone highlight of the night was the Dudley Boys defending their WWF Tag Team titles in a triple threat ladder match against the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian. Number 6, WrestleMania 32 from 2016. WrestleMania 32 was plagued by injuries that forced WWE to reshuffle its plans. The event was bloated with a record-breaking attendance, but the quality of the matches did not match the grandeur of the setting. Luckily, WrestleMania 39 at AT&T Stadium made up for it. Roman Reigns vs. Triple H in the main event was met with apathy, and the underwhelming booking of Dean Ambrose vs. Brock Lesnar left fans disappointed, especially because Ambrose got built up for a no-holds-barred match only to be bounced around like a rubber ball by the Beast incarnate. Chris Jericho also defeated AJ Styles in Styles' first ever WrestleMania appearance, and title wins like Zack Ryder's Intercontinental title victory and stipulations like Shane McMahon losing meant that he had to leave WWE were erased the very next night on Raw. The show did feature some highlights such as the Women's Championship triple threat, but overall it felt like a chore to sit through. Number 5, WrestleMania 11 from 1995. Widely considered one of the weakest WrestleManias, this event was overshadowed by the celebrity involvement of NFL star Lawrence Taylor, who faced Bam Bam Bigelow in the main event. While Taylor's performance was commendable for a non-wrestler, the fact that he headlined over WWF champion Diesel taking on Royal Rumble winner Shawn Michaels speaks to the lack of depth in this card. The overall lack of excitement and a small, lifeless crowd made this one of the least memorable WrestleManias. It very much felt like a throwaway show or a long in-your-house event. Number 4. WrestleMania 9 from 1993. Taking place at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, WrestleMania 9 is often ridiculed for its bizarre Roman-themed aesthetic and poor booking decisions. I kinda liked the look of the arena, but making people wear togas was a bit odd. The card featured forgettable or bad quality matches, and the main event saw Hulk Hogan inexplicably win the WWF Championship from Yokozuna moments after Yokozuna defeated Bret Hart. This nonsensical ending angered fans and overshadowed what was already a lackluster show. The Undertaker had to slog through a match with Giant Gonzalez, Razor Ramon and Bob Backlund wrestled for just under 4 minutes, and Lex Luger vs. Mr. Perfect was very mid. The tag team titles match and the Twin Doink story are the only things that I really remember about this show outside of the ending. Number 3. WrestleMania 2 from 1986. WrestleMania 2 was an ambitious event held across 3 different venues in New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, but the execution was disastrous. With it being in 3 different venues, when a match wasn't going on in front of you, the live crowd had to watch the show on a TV. That's right. The production suffered due to frequent delays and lackluster commentary teams at each location. The main event saw Hulk Hogan defending his title against King Kong Bundy in a steel cage match, which was fine, but just fine. Roddy Piper had a terrible boxing match with Mr. T. Elvira on commentary kept making gross innuendo. The celebrity guests were all B tier. I did just say Elvira. It was a huge step down from the previous year's event. With a weak undercard and poor crowd engagement, WrestleMania 2 remains one of the most poorly executed events in WWE history. Number 2. WrestleMania 36 from 2020. What can I even say about this one? It was Pandemic Mania, held at the empty WWE Performance Center. Held without a live crowd due to the COVID-19 pandemic, WrestleMania 36 was a 2-night experiment that suffered due to its unprecedented circumstances. While the cinematic matches like the Boneyard match and Firefly Funhouse match were creative highlights, most of the event felt eerie and lifeless due to the lack of crowd energy. Keep in mind that this was even before they tried the Thunderdome thing with the wall of live streamers on screens in the crowd, and they would pump in fake crowd noise. The empty arena setting made it difficult for the matches to feel special, and the event as a whole lacked the spectacle that defines WrestleMania. Even Edge vs. Randy Orton in a last man standing match that went all over the venue was weird to witness. It's certainly a time capsule of the hell on earth we all experienced during that time, and it won't be on anyone's watch queue. And number 1, WrestleMania 27. Widely regarded as the worst WrestleMania of all time, WrestleMania 27 was marred by excessive celebrity involvement, lackluster matches, and a forgettable main event. The show felt more like a vehicle to promote The Rock's return than a major wrestling event. It was basically used to set up WrestleMania 28, which would be taking place a whole year later. The main event match between The Miz and John Cena was uninspired, ending in a disqualification that led to The Rock interfering. Then, The Miz got the win to retain the WWE title via interference. Matches like Michael Cole vs. Jerry Lawler further dragged the event down, especially when Lawler was humiliated by the heel Cole because, I'm assuming, it tickled Vince McMahon. Meanwhile, everyone else threw it up. Not even special guest ref Steve Austin could save this crap. Edge defended his world title against Alberto Del Rio in the opening match and didn't wrestle again for almost a decade. An 8-man tag team match lasted a minute and a half. We also saw John Morrison and Trish Stratus team up with Snooki from the Jersey Shore to take on Dolph Ziggler and Lay Cool with Vicky Guerrero, with the only redeeming qualities being Undertaker vs. Triple H, Cody Rhodes vs. Rey Mysterio, and Randy Orton vs. CM Punk, which, by the way, had a super stupid build-up. WrestleMania 27 stands as the weakest entry in WrestleMania history. WrestleMania is supposed to be WWE's biggest night, but not every event lives up to expectations. Whether due to poor booking, lackluster match quality, or unfavorable circumstances, these 10 WrestleManias stand out as the worst in history. While WWE has learned from some of their mistakes, they serve as a reminder that even the grandest stage can sometimes deliver massive disappointments. Comment with your thoughts on all of this. Do you agree with my choices? Why or why not? What are your most beloved and most hated WrestleManias of all time, and why? Let me know down in the comments section. Also, please share this video around to everyone you know, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the little bell to be notified every time I post brand new content. This has been the Main Event Marks, and I'll see you next time.